Okay, hello everyone. I don't know why it looks like that. Dang. Why does it look like? Hold up, I gotta fix
Right.
that. Speaker view. We're live. Okay, there you go. When you do things live, problems happen. Hey everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We we got a little bit of a different kind of live stream tonight. I'm here with my sister. Do you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Um, my name's Alice. I'm Andre's sister. And that's kind of it. I don't really know what else to say.
I'm sorry, I should have said your name. I just said my sister.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm here with my sister Alice. Hey, we got one person. What happened? There were 6 people in here. I guess they dropped. Hey, Wolfacaroni. You. Thank you for always being here, very reliably. Hopefully, more people join soon, and we can kind of do a bit of a reintroduction later. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen the video that came out today or not, but Alice helped me a lot with the shooting of that, and I wanted to bring her on here to talk a bit about the video that I published today, the Last American Frontier, and some plans that we have going forward. Um, this is weird. I'm not used to live streaming with someone else in like the same physical space as me, but for
I'm the first person, right? That I don't think anybody else has ever been in your videos like that.
um as far as live streaming, no. I've never.
Akai.
Yeah, I've talked to Akai on stream, but that's I don't know. Like he joins the chat room. It's not someone in the same room as you,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very different sort of feeling. Um,
I don't know if I look at you if I know for real.
I think we can kind of go between them. We're figuring something out. Um,
Favorite things about these women.
no, I did not actually. I don't know what happened. I have a feeling that it's not gonna, that it's not going to be good news, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I wanted to come on here and just have a conversation about that video. And I don't like what did you think of it? Because I feel like you come at my videos with an interesting perspective.
Um, I don't know because you said it. You thought it was one of your best ones or your
Mm,
best one. Yeah, I think you said.
it might be. I don't know. I really liked the video. I was very happy with
I
it.
think I think it's all subjective. I think because it's not a topic I'm like so interested in. So it's
Mm,
not like I'm gonna rate it up there. But I think it was really well made. I think the points you made were very not sophisticated. Very like how do I say? I don't know. I think I liked your point of view going into it.
here, muted us for a second.
Okay.
I don't know. I appreciate that. I guess it's strange because it's not a subject that I was ever terribly fascinated with either. Like that's a big part of that video was that I never cared much about Florida history. So and I always kind of felt funny in that way, just being someone who like is like cares a lot about history and does all this research and spends all this time learning about the United States, but feeling really separate from it. Like there's no presidential libraries nearby. There's one presidential museum in all of Florida, and it's in Key West.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been, I haven't been to it. So I feel like this video was kind of a way for me to be able to learn more about where we're from, and try to appreciate it a bit more. I'm surprised you didn't find it that interesting in that regard. Like also being obviously we're from the same place,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I mean, I don't know. I just think like in my head, the Everglades are the Everglades. I don't really tend to look at something and be like, oh, I wonder what happened here, or I wonder what lore is behind this. But I think it's really interesting that you do, and that like I think you kind of do that for me also. Is like what we'll be anywhere, and he'll just be like, "Have you seen like the random fact guy thing?"
Oh.
Like, oh, whatever. But that's kind of like what you are for me. Like, doesn't matter where we are. You kind of have like a random fact about the history of the place, or like somebody who's from there, or something like that.
Oh,
So,
well.
like when we were there physically, that's what you kind of did. And I think like it's interesting when you talk about it to the point where like I don't feel the need to go and research about it myself.
Mm. That's so interesting because I guess that's kind of what I do on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah. Good morning.
Let's see. Will Faccaroni liked it, especially the movie analysis part. I really appreciate that because I've been wanting to do a lot more movie analysis on my channel. Which, if you watch the "It's a Wonderful Life" video, the politics of nostalgia, that definitely comes across. And I always say that I could have made a YouTube channel about U.S. history, movies, or rap music. Like I was equal, and Alice knows this very well. Like I'm very equally divided between those three interests. So being able to bring music up and bring film up is I kind of my way of reconciling that in a way. And good morning, Sloth. I wonder where you're coming from, where it's morning time. I don't have a very good concept of the different time zones.
It's good morning. Probably what?
Maybe like 12 hours ahead. Probably more, actually. I don't know. It's weird being here with another person.
It's weird being here in general. I mean,
yeah, well, because you watch the streams sometimes. From the other room.
Yeah.
It's always very funny whenever you say something, and I'm like, oh, my sister said hi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's funny because like the walls are very thin in our house, and so I'll hear Andre say something or he'll laugh like really loudly, then I'll turn on the stream and like 30 seconds later it happens, and it's like I don't know, it's funny.
Sloth said, "I just woke up. I'm on a newborn schedule." Oh wow, you have a newborn baby. That's cool. Congrats on that. Anyways, what's this person's favorite president? Well, this person, in case you missed it, is my sister Alice. I don't know. Who is your favorite president?
I don't know. I don't think I have one.
Yeah, when you were little, you used to say that your favorite president was JFK. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't know. I think it's very like, because I think that's when I had just gotten YouTube for the first time, and I had seen like Marilyn Monroe singing like "Happy Birthday" or something like that to him.
Yeah, it's very iconic.
And I remember thinking he was really attractive in that video, and that's why I kept playing that. But I don't really know anything about him like that, so.
Yeah, I mean JFK is weird. He's interesting because a lot of people will say he's their favorite president who don't know very much about history, just because the vibes kind of come with him. You know, like
the vibes.
Yeah, no, it really is. Like people joke about him aura farming. Like I saw a tweet the other day. It's like he was aura farming his entire presidency because he was just taking cool photos of himself. Yeah. And he kind of, I think, because of the way that he died, he holds this very uncontroversial spot in American history. Unless you're Cuban. Cuban people really hate JFK because of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah. Like if you go to Little Havana and you bring up JFK, it's not gonna go well. But it's really interesting. Will Faccaroni, have you seen any cracker westerns set in Florida? No, I haven't, but the Wind Across the Everglades made me very, very interested in that. I don't know if you would count that as one of the cracker westerns. I'd hate to say I'm not super literate in Florida film and Florida media in general, but I don't know. I know you're going to love this comment. Sloth said, educate her on the complexities of LBJ then. Do you want to talk a little bit about LBJ?
No. No.
I promise you, everything that I have ever said on this channel and then some about LBJ has been said to my sister, and I promise you that she probably retained none of it.
I mean, yeah. No. He would talk about the books, but like I don't really
the Carol books that are right back there.
I don't really. I'm more into like the culture part of this channel, unlike the like political part. I think if you were anybody else, I wouldn't watch it. And that goes to say, like I sit through these videos and I enjoy them because he's my brother and because he makes really nice videos. Well done, shit.
Thank you. I mean, like the history and culture balance is a difficult one. I think there was a while there where I was just like making history, but I feel like I've been a little more balanced recently, and I've been really happy with the last few videos. Like this might be one of my favorite like runs of mine. I guess I don't know if that sounds like full of myself or not, but like
I think the letting go of Kanye West is probably one of your best, most recent videos. What was that? The last one or the last
That was the last one before this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's funny. Someone, I got some mean comments on that one of people saying it was really really basic.
Oh man.
Oh, we have someone watching from Italy. Hello, Carlo. Or oh my God, I just watched an Italian movie yesterday. There's Still Tomorrow. That was a really good movie. Arrivederci. Augie said, Andre, the goat of YouTube mini docs. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say you brighten my day every time you post a new video. Wish you'd post more, but I know videos take time to make. Oh man, that's so sweet. The videos, man. I wish I posted more too. I mean, you
The goat of political mini docs.
of political mini docs, yes. Apparently so. I take that comment. I don't know, like I appreciate that a lot because there's so many other YouTubers that I really like, you know, and that I know that people are watching as well. So if someone considers me the best, that's really awesome. But yeah, the videos are so much work, and I make them more work than they have to be, honestly, because I tend to be a bit unorganized with them, which is something I'm trying to improve upon. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on like the process of how I work on my videos? If it just like seems like ridiculous or crazy, or if it takes too long, or
I think we were just talking about it the other day, but you said you go and you film as you edit, like you start editing before you have it all done. I edit videos too, and like not like how he does. I don't really publish my stuff, but I would never do that. Not that like it just seems so exhausting. I don't know. Like I'm a person where like I like to do things in like steps. So if it's like, oh, writing a script, shooting, filming, going out and like doing all of that, and then being able to go home and put all of that together and do it in like most of the times one sitting, because it's not nearly as long as what you do. But like I don't know. I don't think I would. I think I'd lose interest, honestly, if I were just like doing everything all at once.
Yeah, do you want to come a little bit closer just because you're kind of leaving the frame? You know, it's so funny you say that because I don't know, I guess when I first started out, I would write the videos and then edit and then shoot them and then edit them like what you're supposed to do, right? What you would generally expect. Then as I went, especially as I started researching more, I found that the writing process just took longer. And as I took notes, I'd kind of go back to the notes and be like, oh my God, what was I saying? And then I realized I was like, wait, I should just start writing. Because I feel like as I'm reading, I kind of like the script is coming to me a lot more than if I take notes and I come back to them later. So my research and my writing processes started to kind of meld there. And then as I started making longer videos and I wanted to do, I guess I have a bad habit of jumping around when I'm doing tasks. Like I won't finish something, but I'll kind of go and start doing something else. And that kind of allowed me to do two things. It allowed me to be more patient and get a better feel for the work that I was doing. Because if I wrote something and I knew what it sounded like and I knew the visuals that were going to go over it and what the music was going to sound like behind it, I could better understand how to write the script. And I could sort of know like there's decisions that you make at like when you're editing where you're like, man, I wish I could have recorded this differently. Like I wish I would have said this in a way where like the music rises right here and that I can really play on that moment. And it allowed me to do that. But it also allowed me to procrastinate. Like it allowed me to be like, man, I really don't feel like writing the script right now, or I really don't feel like writing this part of the script. How about I go and edit and shoot this part of the script that I have done and that I really like. And that's kind of been a blessing and a curse, because it lets me put off really important parts of my video to the last minute, but it also lets me like do things when I'm feeling very inspired. So I don't know, it comes and goes.
I think it's also different because you do this for yourself, you know? Like you write your own things, you record yourself, you edit it for yourself, and you post it for yourself. So it's like, I just feel like you have more freedom. And if that's what works for you, then.
I mean, the thing is, it doesn't work. Sometimes, like, I'm probably gonna try being a bit more organized about it. I'm gonna try to run through comments a little bit because we are quite behind. Favorite Florida politician? I don't think I have one. I don't know enough about Florida politics, as embarrassing as that is. What's the sis's least favorite president, and why is it Woodrow Wilson?
No, it's Woodrow Wilson. I don't know who is that. What did he do?
I know because we had the same history teacher, and I know that history teacher talks about him a lot. The 14 points,
Oh,
World War One. I wouldn't say his name.
Sorry.
I wouldn't say anyone's name.
I don't think they could hear.
But yeah, the 14 points guy from World War One.
Oh.
Does that ring a bell at all? No. Dang. Okay. Kevin Gutierrez said, "RFK video is your best vid." That's probably my best video objectively, but like looking back on it now, there's a lot of stuff I do differently. I'm really proud of myself though, because that one's not even like a mini doc. That's like a full documentary. Let's see. Richard Nixon's not even the worst 20 presidents. Watergate was shameful, but other presidents have done much, much worse. Yay or nay? I mean, I think Richard Nixon. I saw someone say this the other day, and oh my god, I wish I remember who it was, but I saw someone say the other day it's kind of like Al Capone, right? Like Al Capone got caught for tax fraud, not all the other crimes he committed. Like I think Nixon did stuff that was a lot worse than Watergate, even if Watergate is the thing that took him down. I don't know if he'd be in the worst 20 presidents. I think Nixon. Mr. Beat made a really good point about this, actually, saying that Nixon is underrated just because he did do some good things, and we kind of just think of him as this like total villain. But I don't know. Favorite president from the state of New York. Sloth got it right. It is FDR. Can you try to do an RFK impression? Can you try to do an RFK impression? Do you know what? I wonder. Well, RFK Jr. impression.
Oh, is he? Hold on.
I've done an RFK Jr. impression on the stream before.
I'm trying to figure out what that is.
The worms in my brain. They made me put the bear in Central Park. I'm single-handedly bringing back measles. I can't believe I'm as successful as I am.
RFK Jr. just ran for president.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the crazy anti-vax guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Augie said, "I always feel when I watch your videos, it's like you're directly talking to me. Plus, the deep dive you go into the psyche of people / topic you're talking about, which I love." Thank you. I wonder if you have any thoughts on this, because I've talked about it a lot. How I make like character centered videos, and I feel like you know my taste very well, and you might have a more interesting perspective on it.
I mean, I don't know, because I guess it's different for people who don't know you, who watch you. It's like a new video comes out, and that's the first time they're like hearing of it. But like when you're editing videos, or you're going through videos, like you're making the videos, it's like that's all you're talking about for like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and it's like once the video actually comes out, it's like all of your thoughts are formulated and they're actually put together. But it's like I've been hearing about it, and so I don't know if that answers the question, but it's like that's how I think of it.
Well, either way, thank you guys for the compliments. What's your favorite presidential portrait? Man, it's hard to do better than Lincoln. There's an old video of mine that you can look up. I don't know if you remember this one or not, but it's called The Art of the Oval Office, and I just kind of talk about the art that's displayed in the office. Self-explanatory. But I talk a bit about Lincoln's portrait in that, and I do a bit of analysis on it. I should actually talk about it again. But there's just such beautiful symbolism there with him turned away, and turned away with the light behind him, with like the darkness shrouding his face. It's very beautiful, and I feel like I can't do it justice in my description of it right now because I don't remember exactly what I wrote because it was a few years ago. But that one is my favorite. Cade, wait a minute. Does anyone know Andre's age? Sloth guessed 23. Yes, I am 23.
What made them guess specifically 23? It's so random.
I don't know.
Do they know?
I've said my age
Oh.
before, but let's see. Carlo said, as Americans, how to explain Trump win in the popular vote? Because seen from Europe, it seems impossible. Sorry for my English. I say that it's mostly anti-incumbency. I don't know if Trump won necessarily because of Trump or just because people don't like incumbents and people really didn't like Biden. You know, like since 2016, we would just flip back and forth, right? Like Republican, Democrat, Republican. And I think that's reflective of the state of the world is just this huge like anti-incumbency movement, you know? And I don't know, I guess I see it more there. I think that there definitely is a bit of a backlash, right? There's a bit of a cultural, like right-wing cultural backlash to a lot of like the sort of social progress that's been made in the last few decades, but I wouldn't overread the mandate, I guess. I don't know. Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I just want to laugh. I feel like laughing. Cause I don't know, bro.
I mean,
I don't know. I just think it's a lot of like misinformation, I guess, because the American press, I feel like, was very divided,
mhm.
and so I don't know. I just think I don't know because I don't want to say anything wrong because like everybody here seems like they know what they're talking about, and like I don't really pay attention to that stuff. It's like I don't really like politics. I know what I should, but I don't know.
I mean, hey, you're
I think it's interesting hearing from like Europe. Because I forget that like the rest of the world's kind of watching the politics as well, and like I don't know, it just seems like a shit show to watch.
well, it's funny because like for anyone that doesn't know, I had no interest in American politics really before the 2016 election. Just like Trump coming down the escalator and being this kind of crazy, ridiculous figure was really my introduction into it, and that I sort of just spiraled from there. My sister was much younger because you're 17 now, so you would have been. God, you would have been 7? You would have been like 7 or 8 when Trump started running for president.
Yeah.
Because he started around my 14th birthday. You're 6 years young. Yeah, you would have
I
been about to turn
remember.
8.
I remember because I went to sleep before the results came out, and I remember you telling me like, "Oh, there's no way he's gonna win. Like, trust me, there's no way he's gonna win." And then I woke up and he had won.
Okay, in my defense, this is 15-year-old Andre's political analysis.
I know. I just thought it was so like looking back, that's so funny.
This is
like that's such a funny conversation for a 15-year-old to have with his little sister. That's like I don't know.
Dude, you keep leaving the frame.
I mean, it's the chair, bro.
Okay.
This light is like blinding.
What's the worst book you've ever read? Man, I don't know. I actually don't know. I tend to like the books that I read. Maybe I'm not that adventurous that I check things up beforehand.
Dirta for president.
Dirta for president will not be old enough, but I'm not a natural born citizen, so I can't either way. Or actually, the Dutra for president could be you.
I don't think anybody'd like that.
I mean, you got a better chance of being president than I do because you were born in this country.
Yes, you are super good. Don't ever stop.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Super duper duper good.
I like this question. What is Alice's thoughts on the current political state of the United States?
I don't know. To me, it's like it's so bad, but I tend to see it as like a joke. I think it's like I don't know. It's crazy that these things like the Zelensky thing, the press conference with him. I don't know. Like watching that, it felt like an SNL skit. It didn't even feel like that was something that was actually happening. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's so crazy to think about. And it's like I'm somebody who just like watches. It's terrible, but like if something's like trending Or like
Mhm.
if it's like Trump does something terrible, that's really the only thing I see, or if he passes like some sort of law, whatever.
Mhm.
But I don't tend to like look into it. So whatever I see, it's like just bad, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, if anything, I feel like your perspective is valuable, especially to everyone here, because if people are watching this, they're going to be super invested in politics and history and all these things. And sometimes we can kind of overestimate how much people know. And I don't know, like it's good to have like a normie take. Like I remember I was talking to you, and you were quite a bit younger. I feel like you definitely know the difference now. But like you were like, oh, like I don't really see the difference between like Bernie Sanders and like the other people that were running in 2020, right? And like I was just explaining like why Bernie was
Yeah.
like better for this reason and that reason, and you were like, oh, see, I didn't know any of that, you
I
know?
mean, to be fair, I was really young.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times it does just kind of go off vibes.
But I don't know. Like I said, it's like because Andre is just so interested in all of this. I feel like I just have. It's not that I am not, but it's like I feel like I really don't have to be. You know, it's really dumb, but it's like that's just how it's always been. Or like I have a bad habit of like if like Severance, for example. It's
Oh my
a TV show that came out, and he's like been talking about it nonstop. And he's like, "Oh, you've got to watch it. You've got to watch it." And the more he insists, the more I don't want to watch it. And it's terrible.
It's the best show on TV. The best show on
It's
TV.
terrible, but I just like I want to watch it, but I don't. You know, because I feel like you're hyping it up, and I
Well,
don't
you're
really feel
missing
like
out. It lives up to the hype. Everyone, if you've seen Severance, please be honest with my sister if it lives up to the hype or not. Okay, we gotta make it through some comments. Andre is 23 vibes. That's all I have to say. I mean, apparently so. Damn, I'm 24. Still look like a baby. Dutra 2036.
Dirta.
Dutra.
Dirta.
Dirta. Oh yeah, it
Oh,
is
no.
Dirta. No, that's the dyslexia getting me. 2040. You won't be old enough in 2040. If you ran for president, it have to be 2046.
Yeah.
It'd be the first year you'd be old enough. What's the best speech a president has ever given, in your opinion? I have a really uninteresting opinion on this. I say the Gettysburg Address. I think that like if you look through that as rhetorically, it just is a perfect speech. It does everything that it needed to do. You know, like the place that it holds in history among the great speeches is I don't know. It's really important. I'd love to do a video one day, just analyzing that from a rhetorical standpoint. What's your favorite and least favorite food for you two?
Like, what's this like?
I,
Any food?
yeah, dude, I really struggle with whenever people ask me my favorite food. I don't think I really have a favorite food. My least favorite food's fish. I hate fish. Like, cannot eat like any type of fish. That's the one thing that I just absolutely have to stay away from. Favorite food.
I like seafood. I've been really into like seafood boils. I wouldn't say that's my favorite food though. I don't know. I think it's like probably like a Brazilian dish, but if I were to go out and get something right now, it'd probably be like a seafood boil.
I mean,
Least favorite is pickles.
pickles. I don't like pickles either.
I don't.
Favorite food. I'm gonna say
No,
mom's carrot cake is very nostalgic for me. I love mom's carrot cake.
that's like your favorite.
That might be my favorite food.
Now I feel bad because I didn't say something she makes.
Let's see. What do you think about the current state of Florida politics? As a Florida native myself, DNC here is awful. 20 plus years of Republican supermajorities, and Dems still can't even win a chamber. Yeah, I mean, man, the thing about Florida politics is you got to remember who is the strongest, like most consistent voter bloc. It's elders. And we just happen to have a shit ton of elders, man. And they're going to show up consistently, and they're going to vote Republican. That's part of why we've had statewide Republican rule for as long as I've been alive. You know, I'm not sure exactly when the last Democratic governor was, but I know it was before I was born. And that's insane. Florida, of course, has had a significant rightward shift in the last few years. But even prior to the pandemic, we were still going solidly like Republican at the state level, for our governor for the last few decades. You know, the current state of Florida politics, I mean, like you said, DNC here is super weak, runs bad candidates most of the time. I don't know. I feel bad because I don't want to just beat up on them, but I just can't think of something very successful that the Florida Democratic Party did. I feel like he's staring into my soul when he looks into the camera. Sorry. Like oh, that's Anthony. You need a Mila Cam for your streams. Yeah, we do. She's crying outside the room. Sloth for president. Yeah, Sloth has a better chance of being president than I do. Biden 2028. Yes, sir. Theories on what happens after the Miss Cobell reveal last episode.
Is this Severance?
That is Severance.
Oh.
Oh man. I mean, I want to see, or actually, I don't want to spoil things for people. I'm sorry. I'm gonna skip the comment. And I think Sloth was leaving anyway, so I'll skip that comment because I just don't want to spoil it. Sloth, by the time you get here, I'll be gone. So goodbye, Andre. Thanks for answering questions. Your humility is something I wish more people had. Thank you. I mean, man, it's crazy because
Be humble.
it's crazy because I've watched YouTube for so long before I ever started making videos, and you feel like something, like you imagine like being like successful and all these things. You never really know what it's going to feel like, and you kind of expect that you're going to feel different, but you don't. I don't know, like I still just feel like me. And it's weird because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but it's weird when you just come to sort of like talk to people that you respect and people that you admire, and like just meet like these really intelligent, capable people. And you just kind of have conversations with them, and you just realize like, oh wow, like they're also human beings, you know. And like I don't know, I've never been someone who's very good at taking compliments. It's always been somewhat uncomfortable for me for some reason. So it is kind of out of my comfort zone to just sort of be like saying thank you to like all these kind things that people say. And people have been so remarkably kind about the videos, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think I'm humble?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Greatest speech in American history. I already kind of answered that with the Gettysburg Address. How would the two of you describe your fashion sense?
Do you want to describe each other's?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Okay. We're like, okay.
Do you want to start or should I start?
Okay, wait, I can start. I think your style changed a lot after you met your significant other.
You could say Lily. You can.
Let me not say anybody's name.
Well,
Okay.
not like
Okay.
a random high school teacher.
I think your style changed a lot after you started dating Lily, like for the best. So I feel like before it was just like we're wearing jeans right now, and I'm wearing jeans, but like I don't know, it's very basic. But now it's like sweater vests. Like they're kind of like an old couple. Like I don't know. But at the same time, not. Like I think your style, I wouldn't say basic, but it's like it suits you. You know? It's not I don't know. It's like how you'd think a 23-year-old man in your position, like with your job, dress.
With my job.
I think. I don't know.
I
don't
know.
think it's like, oh my god, he puts that shit on, but it's also not like, ew, like, what's he wearing?
So my outfits are mid, is what you're saying.
Mid. No. I don't know. I think it really just all depends, but I don't know.
God, I have my own thoughts on it, but I'll talk about yours first. I think, I don't know. Whenever I picture you, I feel like I picture you wearing like the exact kind of outfit you're wearing right now, just like a crop top with no sleeves and jeans.
Mhm.
Usually, you know, I guess you kind of tend to wear like a lot of baby tees. Is that the proper name for it?
Mhm.
Yeah, like mostly baby tees. I think that. Hmm, I don't know. Well, I feel like the way that you dress specifically could change a lot depending on the season. You know, like I don't think
Yeah.
I dress that differently in summer or winter. But I feel like you like once you put on more layers, your outfits have a very different feeling to your summertime outfits.
Yeah, I agree. I think it also depends who I'm with.
Hmm.
Like if I'm going out with you guys, it's like I'll put something like this on. But if I'm going out with my friends, it's like something more like flattering.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you have to say about yours?
I don't know. I think that with me, it was really a long process because I think like I remember we went on a trip with someone once. And I said something about like I don't like they said something. I'll tell you who it is later. But
Mhm.
they said something like about me not really caring about how I dress, and I was like, what? I was like 18 at the time, and that just kind of like hurt my feelings.
Mhm.
I was like, I do care about how I dress. I don't know. I think it was a sort of like an evolution. I think that you just kind of try different things, and maybe for me, it took a little longer than it takes for most people. But I think I've gotten to a pretty good place right now. I don't know. I think I tend to like wearing cold weather outfits. It's really unfortunate because of where we live. You
Mhm.
know, it is hot year round. Though we had a nice winter this year. I don't know. I think I tend to dress kind of like I feel like it's cringy to say, but I do dress rather like vintage, and I do. I don't know. I think well, especially with layers on, I can kind of try to dress a little more like professorial or something like that.
Mhm.
Like I seem like I'd be teaching at a college or something.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with your vests.
But I'm not opposed to like streetwear. Like I wear a fair bit of streetwear, especially if it's hotter out. Do you have any thoughts about your style before we move on?
Um, I don't really agree that it's just like baby tees. I think it just like depends on the context, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like especially, I think my style does change depending on the thing. I think on the what's it called season. I
Mm-hmm.
think in winter, I tend to be more like aware or like more conscious about what I'm wearing because like I like wearing clothes, especially because it's so hot. Like I like wearing clothes that kind of are more like flattering to me
Mm-hmm.
or like or tighter or whatever. And like during winter, I just feel like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, like I'd have something to make up for because it's so many layers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
If you were to go to DC, would you film any videos there? And if so, what would the video or videos be about? Man, I would absolutely love to go to DC. I've only been once, and that was in 2021, but a year actually before I started the channel. So I didn't get the chance to. But I think I don't know. That's a good question of what videos specifically I would film. I think that being at the memorials, like if I could have gone to the FDR memorial for my FDR video, or if I could film part of my like a Lincoln video at the Lincoln Memorial would be incredible. I think I'd have to know DC a little better to know what places I would like to record at. I will be going on a very long road trip soon. I'm going to be driving up to Lawrence, Kansas to do an event with Mr. Beat at the University of Kansas with the Dole Institute. If you're in the Kansas City area, you should definitely show up. It would be awesome to have someone who watches the channel there. But I can promise you that I'm going to be filming. I'm going to try to film a couple scenes for a couple different videos, but I might be a little crunched for time. So, but I know for sure I'm going to be doing at least one. Um, do you consider Trump a fascist? Man, I, I guess it's a question I don't tend to find super interesting. I think that like before when I was more of like a normie Democrat, be like, yeah, Trump's a fascist, and all these things. And I think there's definitely an argument there. Like, I think he definitely uses fascist rhetoric and he has fascist tendencies. So yes, you probably can call him a fascist, but I feel like, I guess the term applies, but I don't find it very politically useful. Like, I feel like that sort of rhetoric did Kamala Harris a disservice during her presidential campaign. I thought that the sort of like Tim Walz weird framing was more interesting, but I don't know. I think I would consider him one, but I don't know if that's something that's really going to be politically advantageous to focus on. Do you have any thoughts? No. We have, or actually, Carlo had some thoughts, because my opinion, he shares a lot with Benito Mussolini from the way he speaks to how he. Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of strong man figurehead, right? I think a similar kind of politician. And we have a comment from Ryan Getty, who has an awesome YouTube channel that you guys should check out as well. He said, "Great video today. Exciting news about the event with Mr. Beat." Yeah, I'm really excited for that. And Ryan and I got to have a conversation the other day, and it's funny because I feel like we kind of, it seems like we think about things in a similar way, and our writing styles are a bit similar. So if you enjoy my work, you probably would really enjoy Ryan's, and I recommend you checking it out. The event with Mr. Beat is like that is so crazy to me, and I'm so nervous and excited for that. It is very, very intimidating, but it's something I'm really excited for. Do you have any thoughts on the event with Mr. Beat?
It's cool. I don't know.
Okay. We have another comment from Ryan. Then after that, we can talk about the movies. Okay. So Ryan said, Trump, I feel like genuinely has no ideology other than vague xenophobia that he applies to everything. I think there's people around Trump I would absolutely, without qualification, call fascist. Yeah, with that comment, Stephen Miller like immediately popped into my mind. I don't know. I think that I agree with you that Trump has very, very little ideology. I think the xenophobia is one. I think that immigration and tariffs, like immigration and trade, are the two things that he really, really believes in. And the rest of it is like fealty to him. But I do think that he sort of likes being perceived as a strong man. Like, even in the people he talks about admiring, whether it be like Putin or Xi or Viktor Orban, all these things, like they're not democratically elected leaders, so to say, but I think that, especially in this administration, there's more emphasis on the fascistic tendencies. Well, Facroni said, think of different ethnic groups and say out loud the first words and images that come to your mind when you think about them. This is a common anti-racial bias technique. I don't know. I think maybe not, because I think we're a little pressed for time, and I think we got to move on to
I mean, if you want to do it, I was just trying to think.
No, it's all right. I think we'll skip on this one for now, but I still appreciate the comment. And Ryan said, for sure, he feels like he loves feeling the bad guy. Yeah. Well, it's funny. The reason that Alice and I were doing this stream tonight was because we have sort of been kicking around the idea of doing a podcast together called Working Title, where we sort of talk about different media like films and music and perhaps even history that we like, and sort of compare our tastes. And we thought it'd be a fun little sibling dynamic. So we kind of wanted to stream together tonight as a bit of a introduction into our dynamic, I guess. And I guess for the second portion of the stream, we would like to share with each other an example of a film that had a sort of deep impact on our lives that really affected us personally. Would you like to say anything else about the podcast?
No, I think it's gonna be fun more fun than anything. Like, I think it's gonna be interesting for, I guess, the people that would be watching to see, because I think we're very alike in our interests, but we're also very different. Like politics, for example, you talk so passionately about it, but I'm just kind of here and like you go and ask me like my opinion and stuff, and it's like I not that I don't have any opinions about it. It's just like I feel self-conscious talking about it. Cause like, what if I get like a fact wrong? And like, especially with your viewers being people that actually like enjoy and are sabio, like how do you say that?
Wise,
Knowledgeable,
knowledgeable.
knowledgeable about the topic, and then I'm just like here talking about it, just like blabbering about nonsense.
But man, I think don't discount your own perspective because your perspective is valuable. You know, like your
I mean-
vote counts just as much as anybody else's.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that it doesn't. It's just like I don't know. I tend to feel more open, comfortable talking about stuff that like movies, for example. I think that's something that's a huge part of both of our lives. You know, in different ways, but also like in the same ways. And I think that's something. I don't know. It's like special. It's something very basic, but it's just like I don't know. I think I like having that. Even with Tiago too. It's like something we all share, like this common interest, which I think like is going to be really cool to talk about.
So, would you like to start, or should I?
I think you should start.
You think I should start? Okay. Well. Oh no,
Your
no.
girlfriend is pretty cute. Like you.
Georgie said your girlfriend is pretty cute. This is my sister.
How do you know he was talking about me though?
Well, my girlfriend was in today's video for a split second, but I don't know if I don't think they would know that was my girlfriend.
But,
Dang. That's unfortunate. Huh?
should wear name tags.
We're name tags. No, this is my sister. You know, I think we look fairly alike. So I'm surprised people wouldn't know.
I feel like for half of the stream, I've just been like with my eyebrows like this. I'm trying to read, and then like I'll look at myself, and I'll be like, ew.
Yeah. If anything, we probably look. I think we look a lot more alike when I'm a little thinner. Like when I had longer hair. Also, I think that we probably look more alike, and the mustache probably doesn't help
I think
either.
we have like similar features. Look over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I think if we were walking down the street, you could tell.
but yeah. So,
I've been just sharing.
well, thank you. So the movie that I wanted to talk about that had a very profound impact on me, and it might not be what people are expecting, but Dune Part 2 is one of my favorite movies ever made, and it sort of like awakened something inside of me. You know, like I've always really loved film, and I wanted to be a director when I was very young. Like I wanted to do film, and for years that was just the main thing that I wanted to do. But I don't know, around the time of the pandemic, my interest sort of shifted. Not that I didn't still love film as much as I did before, but professionally, I think that wasn't really what I was chasing at the time. And for a couple of years, I think I just wasn't as passionate about film as I had been. And I've always really loved like Marvel movies, superhero movies, the big sort of like tentpole franchises, you know. And I think that those started to really let me down in a way. I was kind of like disenchanted with Star Wars, disenchanted with Marvel a little bit. And I saw the first Dune movie when it came out, and I liked it, but I didn't like it. I don't know. It didn't click with me the same way that it clicked with me later on. And I was like, everyone seemed so excited for Dune 2 to come out, and leading up to it, I saw that the first movie was screening again at the theater, and I was like, oh my god, I want to go see the first movie again because maybe I'll catch it a little bit. And when I went to see the first movie, everything suddenly fell into place. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. What happened? Like, why didn't I see this all the first time? And I saw the first movie. I think I watched the first movie 3 times around the time that the second movie was coming out.
Mhm.
And well, actually, Alice and I went on a trip to New York City in February of 2024.
Forgot about that.
And we randomly, or I should say, she randomly stumbled upon the Dune premiere. And I wasn't even with her. Like, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, come on over," and everything. And it was so crazy because we just saw like all the actors, like Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, Florence Pugh, like all these super talented people right in front of us, and it really helped build my excitement for the second film even more. And then I saw the second one in IMAX, and oh my god, it just sort of like it blew me away. It was so incredible. I don't know. And towards the end of the movie, I was just like, man, I want to make a short film. I was like, man, I really, really want to make a short film. And that day I went home and I came up with a concept and I wrote a bunch of stuff down and I never made it. It didn't get very far in development. But dude, if I tell you that it sort of made me fall in love with film all over again. And that's not a short movie. That movie's at least 2.5 hours. I saw it 3 times in theaters while it was out, including twice in IMAX. And I don't know, it just sort of, I think since then I've paid more attention to film than before, and it made me want to make my videos more cinematic. I don't know, it really gave me sort of something to strive for and something to appreciate. Like, oh, these big franchise style movies that I love, it can still be amazing. Like, it can still be these incredible things.
That's sick. I didn't know about that. That you like went home and you had written a whole short film. You've never.
I didn't write a whole short. Yeah, I did. I told you a bit about the idea, or I said it in the group chat.
Oh.
The short film didn't make it out of the group chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I don't know.
Mhm.
I think I remember the talk. I don't remember.
It had like some stuff about delivery.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that before we move on to yours?
I mean, I haven't watched it, and so I don't think there's a lot I can say about it. I watched the first one, and I remember like I watched it when it came out, and I remember it's so stupid, but I only went to watch it because Timothy Chalamet was in it, and I was just so confused the whole time.
I think we saw it together. I think.
No,
We did it?
no, I went with my friends, I think.
Oh.
But I was just so confused, and then like I walked out of there, and I was like, whoa, like it was also like really late at night.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing the premiere was really like a shock.
See, I can't believe we went to the premiere and you didn't watch the second one.
I mean, I don't.
It
It's
really
like,
is incredible.
For me in my head, it was like because I'd never seen anybody like super famous. Because all of those people are just like ridiculously famous.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh. These are all people that we see everywhere. And so just seeing them like in front of you is kind of like crazy. I kind of even forgot what was happening, like, but yeah. He's
not even in the movie, but for some reason Keegan Michael Key was there, and I got a random photo with him. You guys might know him as Obama's anger translator from back in the day, but that's very funny. I really.
Do you think he was there because of Wonka?
He might have been there because of Wonka. Wonka came out right before that. Yeah, right before it.
Georgie said something.
Let's catch up on comments. Ryan said Dune Part 2 was pretty sick. Yes, it was. Yes, sir. Earning Zekrom said, "What's your favorite book about American history?" Oh, man, it's The Years of Lyndon Johnson by Robert Caro. Like, no contest. The Years of Lyndon Johnson by Robert Caro. Absolutely love those books. Completely redefined the way that I think about the presidency. I don't think my channel would be what it is today without it. And I don't know. I could go on a whole tangent about that one. I've sort of done that a lot on this channel. Before. Georgie said, "Sick of seeing Zendaya everywhere. I like her and Shake It Up, but she's everywhere." No, I mean, Zendaya's a very good actress, though. Yeah, like she's having a very nice second phase of her career, I'd say. Like Challengers was incredible. She's great in Dune. should watch black and white film like Cabinet of Dr. Caligari to hone your storytelling capabilities as a filmmaker, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I watched a black and white film yesterday in theaters called There's Still Tomorrow, which was a nice little Italian film I quite enjoyed. But I guess without further ado, we can hear, how much time do you have? Do you know when you have to go?
It's alright, I can talk about it.
Okay.
I jumped around a lot. I had 3 movies in mind. I had Beautiful Boy with Timothée Chalamet. It's like a really sad movie about drugs.
It'd be funny if we both picked Chalamet movies.
No. And then it was The Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is another sad movie about drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And no, but I'm going to talk about After Sun. I don't think you've watched that.
I have not seen After Sun. I put it on my letterbox list today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Bro, it's so good. That movie is just so good. There's like a lot left in the air. And I feel like, for me at least, I don't know, because I like relating to movies. Not that the story itself is very relatable, but I think like the way it was made and just like every like little choice is just impacts how the movie is like, I don't know, it's viewed because oh my god, I'm gonna like go on a whole rant about things, but it's like it's crazy because we could watch the same movie, but what we take from it can be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really like about the movie is just like a lot is left in the air. You know, you don't really have much context going into it, and like the way it ends is just very like abrupt. Like you don't really know how it ends. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's about a father-daughter. It's like it follows the daughter's point of view going into it, and how like it's just, how do I word this? It's like how we view our parents and kind of like that sibling, or not sibling, that like the parent dynamic, you know, because like you think about like mom and dad, like we're just like, how do I say, extensions of them, but we're also our own people. And it's just like it goes on. She's only 11, the little girl, so like it goes into her like her curiosities and how they view water differently. I think I watched the video essay on it today, and it was like a lot of the film, the way it's contrasted is like Paul Mescal, who's the dad, it's like a lot of his, because he struggles, I want to say with depression, but it doesn't really say what he struggles with. Like I said, a lot of stuff in the air. But he just like, there's a scene where he just goes into the water at night and it's just like pitch black and he's just hearing the sound of the waves. Unlike the little girl who like is on vacation and she's curious because she's there with her dad and there's like other people who are kind of older, and she like goes underwater, opens her eyes and kind of views them in that way. And like, I don't know, I just thought it was cool how water can be just, I don't know, it can be like I don't know, it can symbolize so much to different things, and it's like really just makes up the movie. And it's stuff that you like have to keep rewatching it because it's such a sad, not, I don't want to say sad movie, but when you think about it, it is, but it's like one of those movies that you find oddly comforting, or at least I do. And like I can just watch it over and over again because I feel like there's always something that I can pick up off of it, and like something I've missed, or I don't know, something I can look at differently.
Yeah.
I just said a lot. I'm not used to saying much, but I really liked it. That's what kind of like I got from it. But it's really, I think you'd really like it.
Yeah.
It's like your typical, it kind of gives me like Florida Project vibes. Like very different movies, but I don't know.
Do you know the Florida Project and Honora have the same director?
I think you've talked about
I told you that. I don't know. I think After Sun seems like a movie that I would really enjoy. I think there's so many movies to watch. Man.
It's not that long. It's like an hour and 20.
Yeah. You brought up water. I feel like with water, I always think of Moonlight. Have you ever seen Moonlight? Really? From what you're saying about After Sun, I think you'd really enjoy Moonlight. And Moonlight's based in South Florida too, so you'll really feel like you're here.
Interesting. See, I don't really like, not that I don't like, but like watching the Florida Project was just very like disorienting. Because it's like in Orlando, every Florida kid grew up around Orlando, even if you're not from there. It's like places you see so often. And it's like, I don't know. And it's so sad.
No, I mean,
like, I don't know, to me it's just like really like disorienting. But it's a really good film. I think the A24 franchise is like, I don't know. Honora's not A24, is it?
It's Neon. Neon's actually one of their big competitors. They kind of have like Well, because A24, they don't produce, or well, they're obviously they're a production company, but a lot of their movies are films that they buy that they feel like sort of fits their brand. So a lot of times there'll be like bidding wars between Neon and
Mhm.
A24, which is really interesting. I'd actually be curious to know which A24 films were actually like in-house A24 productions and which ones were bought. I don't know. I think
Nobody said anything about After Sun. I don't think any of them watched it.
I mean they might have. We have someone saying, Matt Connell, hey Andre, who do we have joining you today? This is my younger sister, Alice. We were talking about some films that have impacted us. I guess what's funny about this format is I feel like I don't have much to respond about After Sun, just not having seen it.
I
You
mean, but I
know.
think it's interesting. Like, I enjoyed listening to what you had to say about.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting listening
I
to
feel
you
like
too.
you're more well spoken. I guess I don't know, because I feel like a lot of what I have to say is like the word like. I guess I don't know, and it's like you're just very confident. I guess you're used to this. This is kind of like intimidating to me.
Oh no, it's super, dude. It is
Um,
really hard to talk in front of a camera, and a lot of that is practice. I promise you. Like, I did not start talking the way that I am. First, like, couple live streams, really rough. It's still hard sometimes, you know, when you don't know what to talk about, when you don't know where exactly to go with the topic. But it's just practice, and I wouldn't think too much about it because the more that you do it, the more natural that it gets. See, Ryan said, "I hate staring into the camera." Exactly. You have to not see the camera. That's the only way that I don't go crazy when I'm recording. Is like mentally, I'm not paying attention to my vision. You know. Said weirds me out like crazy. And Matt Connell said being in front of the camera is hard. Yeah, it's really hard.
like the beginning of the live stream, there like you were answering questions about like politics, and I just wasn't saying much, and I'd like squint or like my eyebrows would go like this, and I'd be trying to read it, and then I'd catch a glimpse of myself, and I'd be like, ew, like what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of get comfortable with your perception. I think that we can wrap it up because I know that you got to get going. But it was really nice having you on, and I think we should do this more often.
We should. It was fun.
And we will, I think, be in development for a little bit about the podcast idea. I think we got some stuff to figure out, but I think that this was a nice way to test out the format together.
No, it was. I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course. You have anything to say to the audience before we let them go?
No. I mean, bye. Thank you for watching. I don't really know. It's weird to think that there's people watching.
I'm sorry you missed the stream, Matt Connell, but if you'd like, it'll be up for you to rewatch after the fact. And say just thank you guys so much for joining. Check out today's video if you haven't already. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys, and I will see you later.
Bye-bye.